Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you all are doing good. Uh, I would like to start from our next lab, which is lab number 8. It's been a while that we conducted our hardware labs, so I thought that I will start with the recordings, and I will almost share uh, one recording every day with you guys, and I think this will be helpful for you. Meanwhile, I will also cover the hardware part as well. I will do the recordings of the hardware, whatever sensors we are going to interface. So we will cover all these labs, and obviously I will try to cover beyond these labs as well. And for that, I will require your recommendation. Let's start with the intro of Arduino. What is the IDE of Arduino? Which we call the integrated development environment, a complete environment in which we can program and we can see the how our hardware works. Slightly we can see the simulation as well. I'll tell you how we can see that our sensors are giving us a proper reading. Or you guys might be already familiar with the serial monitor. We can see our inputs and outputs in the serial monitor. So let's start. First of all, yes, that is so obvious. We need to download the software of Arduino, which we call integrated development environment. If you go over here on the website of Arduino, which is arduino.cc, you can see that there is a lot of support available for those who would like to do prototyping in Arduino. Fine, you can buy an Arduino, but obviously these Arduinos are quite expensive. I will cover most of the part that I have already covered in the workshop. These are like these that workshop was quite in detail, but I will cover all these contents in chunks. Okay. Uh, okay. So these are the Arduino products. Besides these boards, uh, these are the boards. This is the new. This is almost the first board that Arduino launched, which we call Arduino Uno, and now they have launched its third revision as well. Okay, so this is the latest board of Arduino Uno, which is the very basic one. And then we have another version of Arduino Uno in which there is a built-in Wi-Fi. This one, Arduino Uno Revolution 3, is not having a built-in Wi-Fi. So I am specifically jumping on this thing, Wi-Fi or Ethernet or something like that, because I would like you guys to get familiar with the term Internet of Things. When we say Internet of Things, obviously internet jumps in, and the algorithms that we perform on our prototype or on our sensors, or whatever our basic requirement is, we would like that data to go onto the internet, and from internet obviously we retrieve that data. Okay, so there are two main things. If I write it down for you guys, if I go to lab number 8 and open up these notes, so there are basically two things that if we combine those things, we say that our product is Internet of Things based. ठीक है, IoT. So this is the buzzword nowadays, and we will perform a lab on Internet of IoT as well, Internet of Things as well. Okay, so there are two things. One is computation, and another thing is internet connectivity. If we have these two things, then we say that our product is Internet of Things based. Okay, obviously this computation is we can go in depth of this computation, and we can go in depth of this internet connectivity as well. We just don't have to send data on the internet. We need to retrieve that data in either a web app, in either in a mobile app. But these are the two basic things: internet connectivity and computation. Okay, so now these are the boards. We just don't have to blindly buy a board for the prototyping. We just need to see the specifications of these boards, whether that suits our requirement or not. Okay, so price variation is too much, starting from this basic board, $23 or maybe $17. We can now this Arduino Nano is of $10. We can see a board whose price is like more than $70. So it depends. Like this one is of $68. Okay, Arduino Mega is also a very famous one because it has a lot of, maybe more than 50 digital input output pins. Okay, so we will see the intro of Arduino today. We will see how we can make use of the software that is required to program Arduino. Okay, so once you are done with with downloading the software, let me see if I find out something in downloads, or I write down again Arduino IDE download. So this will be a bit quick. Arduino.cc/software. So you can download a web installer. Let me check where the web installer is. Download options for Windows 7. You can download a zip file as well. Okay, so what you can do is that you can download a complete software in a zip file and unzip it, and then you can download. So it is so simple. Okay, after you are done with the with downloading the software and the installation, if you have any problems if you are facing any problems in the installation of Arduino, you can put an email, and we can see how to sort out those problems. Once you are done with the installation, you can click on this icon and run this IDE. Now there are some basic settings that we need to see first before we start programming. Okay, first of all, go to the file and go to the preferences. Okay, now this area is actually called the sketch, where we program our Arduino. Fine. Now go to the preferences, and over here this will be unchecked, this compilation, show verbose output during so you need to check this. Okay, do not check upload. I'll tell you why. Once you have checked this, you will be able to see the errors, and you will be able to see where your sketch is saving the hex file. Okay, besides this, within this preferences, what you can do is that you can add your new boards as well. For example, if there is a board which is not having any built-in support in the Arduino, what you can do is that you can take its .json file and add its path in this link, in this box. and then you will be able to make use of that package. Okay, that package that is made for that board. Okay, now let's press OK and do some basic setting. Okay, so what I have done is that I have connected my board Arduino with the USB of my laptop. I will show that to you in the hardware. The first step is you go to the tools and select your board. Okay, now before you go to the board, let me tell you something. You can go to the boards manager. This board manager will take you to this window, and over there you can find out the boards that are available with the Arduino, setups that are available with the Arduino. You can install any board whose support is not there in this built-in IDE. You can install it. For example, if you see that there is a board Intel i586, you can install it from here. If you click install, it will be installed in your system. Okay, now again go to the tools and select your board. Now we have already studied that these are AVR microcontrollers that are being used by the Arduino, and few names of those AVR microcontrollers are Atmega 32, Atmega 64, Atmega 256. So the board that I'm using right now is Arduino Mega. I will select this board, and with this Arduino Mega I will select the processor, which is usually built-in selected. Arduino Mega usually uses 256 chip. So after that you need to select the COM port as well. Okay, now this will help you in programming the board. This will help you in programming the microcontroller. Once you are done with selecting this COM port, you are almost ready to program. Now once you have done these two settings in the tools, selection of board, selection of port, if you press this upload, your sketch will be directly uploaded to the Arduino. And if you press verify, it will not upload your software, your sketch to the board, but it will tell you what are the errors that are there in the program. Okay, so first of all, let me show you. Let's pick up a very simple example. Go to the file, examples, and you can see there are like hundreds and thousands of built-in programs already waiting for you so that you can start programming. Arduinos are really easy to program, and a lot of support is already there within these IDEs. Okay, okay. Now you see something for GSM as well, something for Ethernet is also there. I have used this library a lot. Okay, now let's go towards let's do make a very simple program, or let's not write a program. Just go to this basics and press blink. Now with this program, with this blink program, we can see whether our board is working or not. Okay, there is a built-in LED with pin number 13 of our board. Okay, so these are all comments. This is how we used to comment in C programming, if you remember, /* and */. So these are all the comments. Now let's start understanding this programming. So there are two most important functions in two functions are essential if you write a sketch of Arduino. First one is void setup, and second one is void loop. Now whatever excuse me, whatever you have to program just once, that you will write in the setup mode, okay, that you will write in the setup function. Now if there is something that you would like to do again and again, that you will write in the loop function, okay. Now for example, first of all we need to set the pin mode of our LED. Fine. How to set up the pin mode? You just have to write pin mode and then the pin number of the LED. For example, you have connected an LED with pin number 13. You need to write that number, for example 13, and make that pin input or output. Since LED is a output device, so they have already written output over here, okay. Now by making use of this pin mode, we have made pin number 3 an output, pin number 13 an output device, okay. So this is actually the meaning of this line, okay. For example, if there is a sensor, a digital sensor, we have connected that at pin number 12, digital pin number 12 of Arduino. We will write it like this: pin mode 12 and input. Why input? Because we are taking data from that switch or from that sensor, okay. Now let me erase this. After that, in the void loop, we would like this LED to blink again and again, okay. After 1 second, we would like this LED to blink, okay. It will turn off, and after a second it will blink again. It will again turn on, after a second it will turn off, okay. So that is what our this basic program is. Now since over here, just for your understanding, I have written 13 over here. So what I will do is that I will write 13, and I would like this 13 to get high. I have already made it an output device, okay, remember that. Now I can either make it low or I can make it high, because you know there are two stages in a digital device or in a digital sensor. Either it is high or it is low. Now this pin number 13, I would like it to get high, and then I'll call a delay of 1000. Then I would like this pin number 13 to get low, and then I have called a delay of 1000. Now this 1000 means whatever is written inside this bracket, it is in milliseconds. Fine. So 1000 milliseconds is actually equal to 1 second. Now let's verify this program to check whether there is any error in this program. So there is no error. If there is no error, this program is going to generate a hex file for you, as you can see. From here you can check the path of your hex file. Now this hex file will be useful for the hardware. If you run this upload, it will automatically write that hex file within the ROM of the microcontroller. That is the microcontroller that is already there within the Arduino, okay. Now, and the second use of this hex file is, if we simulate our Arduino, if we simulate our project in Proteus, so we can make use of this hex file to check the inputs and outputs of our project, okay. Now we know where this hex file is. Now let's go to the, I'll tell you something different now. There is a support of Arduino boards in Proteus as well. Okay, what you guys have to do is that just Google Arduino library for Proteus. Okay, now I usually download this. There are so many links from where you can download. I usually download it from theengineeringprojects.com. If you click this and scroll down, so these are the boards whose libraries are available in the Proteus. For example, there is a sensor, PIR sensor. Its library is also available. Then there is a library for Bluetooth as well. And what we need right now is download Arduino library for Proteus. If you click this, the download will start. I hope it starts. I had downloaded this library from the same website, the engineering projects. Let's wait for. Okay, I hope now we can download that library. Okay, now give it a path. Let me download it on the desktop. It is a zipped file. If you open this up and unzip this, you will basically find two files, okay, inside this. One is with .idx extension and one is with .lib extension. Now you need to copy these two files in the library of Proteus. What you do is that go to C drive and go to this view. Usually this folder is a hidden folder, program data. Go to view if you are using the same Windows I am using and click this hidden items. Go to program data and then the lab center electronics, Proteus 8, where you have Proteus, you have installed Proteus somewhere else, right? Go to this program files and then go to the lab center electronics. So this is where you have installed Proteus, but for the library purpose, go to this program data, lab center electronics, Proteus 8. This is where you can find several libraries that are already there in the Proteus. Okay, you just copy paste that these two files in this folder and run Proteus. Okay, sorry. Now if you make a project, I have already made one in the Proteus, but let me do it for you guys. Desktop, lab number 8, and excuse me, let me make a folder LCD, and this is where my Proteus project is gonna save, LCD _ test. Press next. Create a schematic, yes. Press next. Do not create a PCB, next. Okay, so this is your Proteus. Now let's try whether we were able to can we call that library Arduino library? Are we able to install it properly? Now let's just search Arduino, and these are the libraries. I have installed some other libraries as well, but you will most probably find out Arduino over here. Okay, this is Arduino Uno with this microcontroller, which you can even take out of Arduino. You can like call this SMD based Arduino Uno, in which this type of IC comes. This microcontroller is actually Arduino this microcontroller is actually at Mega 32 328p. Okay, now let's drag this Arduino, and first of all let's connect LED. Go to the optoelectronics and let's find LEDs. Let me connect this LED with pin number 13, and also we need a resistor as well. Okay, connected with the other end of the resistor with the ground. Now the value of this resistor is quite high, 10k. Let's make it 220 ohms. Now if we double click this Arduino, we need to give it the path of the hex file. Okay, now where that hex file is, let's go to our program, Blink program. Here it is. Okay, this is the program we just saw, and the hex file is in the C hex files and Blink folder. You can change this path, right? I have changed this path. But when you will do this for the first time, it will save this hex file to some temporary folder somewhere in your C drive. Okay, but you can do is that just copy the path from here. Okay, and give it to your Proteus. Now if I double click this, I will go to the C drive, and then this folder hex files, and then blink.ino.hex. Okay, now let's see whether this LED blinks according to our program or not. Okay, so there is some problem. Yeah, the problem is actually we will do this everything like in the run time, so that even if you guys face that problem, you will be able to solve it. Okay, now if you guys notice, what we have done is that we have selected Arduino Mega over here, and then we simulated we debugged or we compiled this program according to Arduino Mega. Fine, but in Proteus we have selected Arduino Uno. Okay, so that is the problem. Now what we can do is that either we change this Arduino, or the simple thing we can do is sorry, not this one, this one. There are so many Arduino programs opened. Okay, so what we can do is that we can change the board, Arduino Uno, and then we verify it again. Now hopefully this will not give us error. Okay, this is working fine. If you see, now this program is working according to this project is working according to our code. Fine. Now with this LED working, we have learned a lot. Fine. We know how to make use of the IDE, how to do the initial setting of that IDE, how to call the library of Arduino within Proteus, and how we can simulate our projects. Fine. Now this obviously has a limitation. For example, Bluetooth works in different fashion in real scenarios. Fine. Up to some extent, we can make use of these simulations. Okay, so there is obviously a limit for that. But this is something good, that our program is working fine, our logic is working fine, and after that, once we are sure that it is working fine, we can upload that code or that hex file within our board. Okay, now the next thing I would like to do today is that let's connect it with some LCD. Pick devices, go to optoelectronics, alphanumeric LCDs, and select this one. Now first of all, we would like to do the connection before we start our programming. Okay, let me connect it first. For example, I have connected register select with pin number 13. I have connected enable with pin number 11. Now read write. Let's connect this read write with ground and D4 with pin number 5, D5 with pin number 4, D6 with pin number 3, and D7 with pin number 2. So there is no need of VSS, VDD, VEE and contrast. So there is no no need of that at the moment. By the way, this pin 3 is used for the contrast. If you have to install this LED or somewhere, we need to adjust its contrast with a potentiometer. VSS is ground, VDD is 5 volts supply. Now let's do the programming of this one step by step. Okay. Okay, now again open up Arduino. Okay, now open up Arduino and make a new sketch, right? Now we need to do some coding for our LCD, for this schematic, right? For this one, though I have already done this, but we need to do it step by step so that you guys understand how to program for Arduino. Okay, where is our new sketch? This is our new sketch. First of all, let's save it somewhere on the desktop lab number 8, and let's name it LCD underscore interfacing. Okay, I will just verify it, and so that initially everything is good. So guys, remember one thing: if we make use of the built-in libraries of Arduino, our life becomes very simple. Fine. For example, first of all, let me call a library of Arduino of this liquid crystal, this LCD. Let me call it. So there is already a built-in library to interface these LCDs. The name of that library is liquid crystal.h. So if this color changes, this means that you have properly added the library. So there is one more method as well, how you can through which you can include the library. For example, if you go to sketch, include library and liquid crystal. Now see, this will come automatically. So let me erase one. So you have included liquid crystal library. Now go to Google and type liquid crystal library. This will take you to a page where you can find several built-in functions. Okay, so these are several built-in functions which are very useful if you would like to program your LCD. You can go to each and every function one by one and see how you can print. For example, if you would like to, LCD is mostly used for printing, so you can see how we can print our data. Fine. So there is a lot of help available. If you are able to find out the library for something, then most probably you will be able to do everything by making use of that library. Okay. Now, after calling this library, we would like to define some data types. Why we need to define some data types? We need to see where we have actually connected our pins. Okay. Now for that, once I write it down, then you will be able to understand it properly. For example, we would like to have a constant integer with the name RS, which we have connected with pin number 13, enable, which we have connected with pin number 11, and then we have connected 4 more pins. D5 is connected with 5, D4 is connected with 5, D5 is connected with 4. By this D5 we actually mean digital pin 5, digital pin 4, digital pin 5. Okay, we can change its name, that is not a problem. D6 is connected with 3 and D7 is connected with pin number 2. Now why we have done that? Because we would like to call a function of this library, liquid crystal and LCD. LCD is basically a function that is defined in this library. Okay. Now the first entry of this function is register select. You need to define where you have connected this register select pin with the pin of the Arduino. Now the first one is RS, second one is enable, third entry is D4, fourth one is D5, fifth one is D6, and the last one is D7. So that is how you have actually defined the pins. Okay. Now what you can do is that if you just do not mention something over here, fine. If you do not just mention something over here, you can straight away write down the names of the pins in these places. Fine. For example, 13, 11, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. But these names usually give us an idea what actually this pin is doing. Okay. Now since we have done this, now let's go to the setup. Now within this setup, I have already told you that we define we write something that we have to do just once. Okay, now this initialization of LCD is something that we do just once. We don't have to initialize our LCD again and again. Now there is a very simple line, LCD dot begin, to initialize this LCD. Now our LCD is 16 cross 2, so we will write 16 comma 2 to initialize our LCD. Next thing is, what we can do is that LCD dot print, and whatever you write in these quotes, that will appear as it is on the LCD. Hello world. Okay. Now there is no need to write something in this loop at the moment. Why? Because we don't want, once this hello world is written on the LCD, it is there. We don't have to write hello world again and again. There is no use of that. Okay? If you would like to write something in the loop, then only we are going to write that within this function. So there is no use of that at the moment. Let's verify this and see if it has some error. There is no error. Now in this hex files folder, .hex file is generated. Let's give it to our schematic. Let me double click, go to the hex files folder, give it a path of the hex file, and see whether it works or not. It is working fine. So that is how we can program our LCD. If you guys remember, it was extremely difficult to write a program of LCD interfacing in assembly language. We had to program each and every pin. We had to made these pins output. We had to define register select, read write, enable. We had to define each and every functionality of these pins. For example, even just in the case of enable, we had to first of all make it high, and then after a delay we had to make it low. So this is not we have done in this, because library is doing it all for you. What you just have to do is that just do a slide setting and write whatever you have to write on the LCD. Okay, I think that is it for today. I will do its hardware, how to connect Arduino, how to connect LCD or LED, and after that we will be done with this lab number 8. And once this you are familiar with the intro of Arduino, this library stuff, this basic programming, and once you are done with that, then we will jump to our next lab, which is develop a mini project that interfaces ultrasonic sensor and measures the distance of different objects. Okay, so see you next time inshallah. Thank you.